The Ultimate Ninja Storm series is well known for its incredible visuals, simple combat, and more importantly, its ability to recreate some of the most iconic scenes in the anime, manga. Pretty much every moment in the show is in these games. Sometimes even surpassing it. Well, not always, but for the most part, it can be pretty good. You feel like you're inside the game. But it wasn't always like that. In fact, with the original Storm game, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, everything was either a summary or just a loading screen summary. And it feels like it missed out on so many opportunities to recreate the original heart and soul of Naruto. For example, the Zabuza, the Haku versus Team Kakashi fight is totally absent. We don't get that. We also don't get the Naruto versus Neji. We don't get the Rock Lee versus Gaara, which is one of the, if not the most iconic fight in all of anime. Everybody knows that, the weight's coming off. Everybody knows that. It's not here, and I feel like it was a missed opportunity. The only time that you do get some of these quick time events and some of these iconic, moments is in the giant fights between Gamabuta, when he's doing the summoning thing, right? And with the three sages, with Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru all fighting in a big giant fight against the snake. We also get obviously, I feel like every single Naruto game has this at this point, the iconic Naruto versus Sasuke fight. It is just a fight in this game, and it's not really a whole cinematic, flashy fight with quick time events and with, I don't know, just the story beats included within the fight. They do have the cutscenes. They do have the memorable Naruto, Sasuke, they have all that. Right, but you don't really, it's just shown to you. You don't really get to interact with it, and I feel like that's one of the things that the Storm series does, and it misses it, In the sequels, you get all that, but in the first one, it was kind of like, I don't know, it's missing. So recently I played Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm in 2024, and I feel like it hasn't really aged that well in terms of the way that the game is designed. The game is structured in missions. Everything is just a mission. You do have the open world Leaf Village. There isn't a lot to do. You do get to interact with the NPCs, with the villagers, and they tell you they need like flowers, or they need a bug or some beetles, or they need something, but you don't really get anything out of it. It's just kind of just busy work. The way to progress through the story is by gaining something known as Mission XP. And Mission XP is, experience for missions. And you do side quest missions in order to get the experience. And I felt like that was, at first it was fine. But as you go through the story, it's like, oh man, I'm just repeating mission after mission. I feel like, what was the point of me going throughout the village looking for these people to give me these missions when I could have just done them from a menu? Why give me an open world to explore when it's not really fun to explore? That's kind of one of the things. Ultimate Ninja 3 did it better. I feel like that was like the most fun way to experience it. I would have to actually go back. Maybe it's my nostalgia goggles like kind of fogging me for that, but I feel like Ultimate Ninja 3 did it better. I don't know. So yeah, after a while, you do feel kind of like, I don't know, I'm just doing the same thing, and the fights are fun. Like, let's get that straight. The gameplay is fun. It's easy. You do feel like you get to control the Naruto character, and it's great, right? But everybody, unfortunately, feels the same. There isn't really a huge variety in terms of the way that the characters move. If you're trying to go for like an in-depth fighter, you're not going to get it with Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. You're just not. But if you want to feel like the character, it does make you feel like the character in the sense of its flashiness, its moveset, sometimes in kind of the weight of their movement, but for the most part, it's just, you press, in my case, I played on Xbox. You press Y and then B, and then you do a jutsu, and that's what it is. But for the most part, they're all the same. I don't feel like this game is a game that I want to go back to. I feel like I would much rather play either Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, 3, or 4. Any of the other ones besides the spin-off ones, like Generations and Revolutions. But I don't know. I just feel like if I'm playing a Naruto game, I want to feel like I'm part of the Naruto world. And I feel like out of all of these, this is the one that I would play the least, if I'm being honest. I don't think I'm after this. Most likely, I'm probably never going to play this again, which is unfortunate. I feel like it's kind of bad to say that about a game, about a series that you love. Like, I'm just never going to play this again. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I feel like if we could, like, I don't know, bring back the Naruto series, or not the Naruto series, the Storm series, to redo. I'm not saying a remake per se, because I feel like remake has like kind of like a negative thing now. It's like, oh boy, another remake of another popular game, just a cash cow or whatever. But I don't know. I don't necessarily want Storm again. I want the Naruto story. I want the childhood section of Naruto to be fleshed out in a game, in a Storm way, not in Storm 1, but more like Storm 2 or Storm 4. One of those, like those two, I feel like they nail it and they do it right. And I feel like it would do it justice. Maybe not necessarily remake, but just kind of bring it back to do the old story in a new way. And I mean, that's it. That's like, I feel like kind of weird shitting on this game, but at the same time, it's like the newer games do it better. The gameplay's better. Why would I ever go back to this game? There's still kind of like, when you look back at the trailers and the way that this, like, maybe it is rose tinted glasses, right? But like, it's a really like beautiful game. Visually, everything is great. Everything is stunning. The jutsus, they all look great. They all are breathtaking. The character models are great. The animations are great. I just feel like when I'm going for a Storm game, in my head, I'm like, oh, I want to experience the anime in a game. And Storm 1 doesn't do that. Maybe we do, we give the, Sparking Zero, give that treatment to the Storm game. We go through the OG series, right? And then we could have maybe what if scenarios, or I don't know, maybe they could do it, right? They could do something with the Storm series still. But I don't know, I guess we'll see. And I'm going to be talking about Storm 2 in the future. Storm 2 is one of my favorite ones. I just think that one, because of the paint arc itself, is iconic. And I'm looking forward to playing that one. I don't think I'm going to have too many negative. There's a few things that I have to complain about for that game. Critiques, if you will, if I want to sound a little bit smarter. But I don't know. I have a stronger connection to Storm 2. And Storm 1 was always the one that, like, I don't have a PlayStation 3. I can't play it. Storm 2 was on 360. And that was like, oh, okay, this is it. If Storm 1, I always had it in my head, Storm 1 is just like Storm 2. I'm missing out on the iconic Naruto fights. But it wasn't. And I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what Storm 2 looks like in 2024. But for right now, Storm 1 is kind of like a fun look back at Naruto in a way. But in 2024, I wouldn't recommend it. Look. I fucking slipped on a banana, dude.
It can't be!